For the listener's discretion, this podcast contains strong language and adult themes that may not be suitable for children. These are not the views of the radio station or its affiliates.
Can we stop the arguing? Can we take a moment where we can calm down? It's just so exhausting. Swinging in the wind, going round and round. I know that we won't say sorry. You beg and I plead, but my heart can't beat until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. Put the smile right onto your face, tracing every inch of you, using my tongue to find your happy place. I know that we can play naughty. You beg and I plead, and you pull my heartstrings until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. Until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you vibrations. I know that we won't say sorry until I feel the vibrations. I wanna give you.
What? There we are. I know. I didn't have us up in the background on that one. I wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready. You know what I like? That song gives me enough time to finish my sandwich. So
your greedy self. Your greedy self. I'm over here stomach just growling.
I'm sorry.
Just growling. And you know what? I'm over here with my Super Bowl rooftop shirt on instead. We're all out of uniform.
Yeah, just all out. We've been working busy though.
And look, and with my Stephanie Get Bodied Snatch My Waist thing. Let me put that up there with our sponsors. I'm just representing everybody else.
Everybody, yeah, you are.
I got my first class candles burning. I have our great hat in the bag. Everybody else.
I'm trying to figure out about that hat on your head because I like that one.
Right?
I like that.
I love this hat. It feels great. I don't know who I stole this from. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Okay.
I don't think I bought this.
We do not own that statement. You know, you heard the disclaimer in the beginning.
Yeah,
we have nothing to do with
right now.
Yeah,
I think I stole this not like from a store, but from like probably one of.
We don't need to know. We don't need to know. Yeah, we don't.
I sound like I'm on Law and Order. I'm giving up too many details.
Giving up all the details. Sound like you on the first 48. You know.
Now blur out the face and be like.
Like work around the blurred spot, right?
The same hairstyle and everything. They know it's you, Pookie. They know it's you.
Now I'm going to tell you something about our folks at First Class Candles.
What about them?
Okay. They realized, because you and I have been working real hard. You know, I'm representing Barrett Jackson over here, where
you work hard.
Yeah, I work hard because I did Barrett Jackson, and I turned around and went right back and did the rooftop.
Really now?
That's right. And yeah, you know, that's how we do it. But now I'm gonna show you about how the rooftop experience was. Michelle Tucker from First Class Consulting, First Class Candles,
Yes.
okay, knew that my wife, being disabled, could not come to the events.
Right.
So what she did was she hand delivered. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Get it close now.
Get it close.
Come on,
Get
lighting
it close.
man. Come on, you used to be good with lighting. What you doing?
Working on horror films. There it is. See, First Class Candles, right? First Class Candles, hand delivered. Hand delivered. Wait, and they had the nerve to call me on the phone, text me on the phone, talk about check your front door. Well, you know, it's a good thing I don't live in the hood. Yeah, you know, 50 out there, something what? You know,
can't tell that brother right there check the front door.
No, I'm gonna go out the back door to check the front door. So I ain't trying to. You know, I'm not gonna be one of them brothers. Oh, they said go to the front door.
Michelle been in the suburbs a little too long.
Yeah, right. I love her. That's my twin. I love her, but Lord,
been in the suburbs,
man. And I had to look at it. I had to look at it for a few minutes. Like, check your front door. What? Okay, so I went under.
Serve me with no papers.
Right, you know,
none of that.
But this box came, and in the box is a whole bunch of.
God, your presentation skills are horrible.
Yeah, we got to work. Wait, look. I don't get Christmas gifts. I don't get nothing. So I mean, you know, for me to be presenting anything. Last gift I got was Hot Wheels, and I got beat with that the next day. So no. Yeah, you know what?
He's nervous. All right. It's okay.
All right. So after I get on
this, hurry it up. We only have so much. We gotta we heard to get to it, bro.
Okay. All this stuff is up in here. There's like 400 candles up in here. No, I think there's like 5 or 6 candles. Wonderful scents. Please patronize the sister. Go to her website. Check her out because she got nothing but love for us. Okay. Absolutely. Now I'm gonna try and put this box back before I get beat up.
For that. While he's doing that, let me tell you, you all can go check out her page over there, First Class Candles, and you will see, because she as First Class Consultant, as Super Bowl AZ, as $1 Million Mingle, as Tim McGee, all of them in conjunction with, now, your girl, you can see me out there telling you what
Tim McAfee.
McAfee, okay, thank you. All of them together did an excellent job with the rooftop, and you'll see her on there out delivering those boxes to people. He don't watch the social media, so he had no clue. And
that's why she had to tell me go to the door.
Right, but you concentrate on that because I want you to stay focused on that. Because Lord have mercy, we got to give this man more presents. Y'all give him more things so he can have his presentation skills together a little bit. That was about 3 hours worth. Oh my God. We're gonna practice it. We're gonna practice it some.
Wait, do we have anybody out there that can tie a bow? Because I messed up the bow.
Let me tell you something else I saw on Michelle's page, and I told her that I'm gonna tell you guys about that because wait, let me turn my candle back here and see. You can hardly see the flame now, and so let me tell you why. Because I learned this on one of the posts that she did, and she was talking about with your candles. She did tips. These tips for your candle. One, she talked about trimming your wick. I said, trimming my wick? I ain't never in my life. I am 51 years old. I have never trimmed. Watch your mouth. Keep concentrating on closing your box. I said, I have never trimmed a wick in my life. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 times. I have never trimmed a wick in my life. And then she talked about steadying it or how you set it. And then there was one other thing, which I have forgotten now because I just like the candle. But that's why it's so weak now, because I don't do those maintenance things. I spent all this money for the candle, which because you've been here, I didn't spend money on this. It was given to me. However, it is an expensive candle that I love because you guys see it back here. I represent every time on the show, but that's why you can't see it, because I don't trim the wick. You're supposed to trim your wick and maintain it.
See, stop saying that because you got me scared over here.
Scared, go to church. Calm down. but she put those on there. So check out the page because she not only sells them, then she gives you tips on how to maintain it. So honey, she's not trying to just have you buy the candle and it go to crap. She's trying to tell you how to maintain it and keep your nice candles that have been handmade for you, quality made. She's trying to keep them nice. So go check that page out over there. First Class Candles, darling. And this post, and then she posts the Pure Bliss, which you know, that's what I have burning, of course, Pure Bliss. And I went on and on and on about that Pure Bliss, about how you can also dip in there and put it on your hands and your elbows, and you can go into other things for another time, maybe a late night show. We can talk about that or something a little bit. Hi, Carol, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. But yes, First Class Candles. Check them out over there. I am so proud of you, Chris, for getting that box open and doing everything. I see our guest down there in the virtual green room, waving down there to him. I can see you down there. So I am excited, honey. So excited. So excited. Catherine says, love my First Class candle. Have you burned your candle yet? Or are you just letting it sit there because the aromas are so strong? You do not have to burn them. You don't even have to burn them to enjoy them. That is a fact. You really don't. That's how. Why is it right there? Explain yourself.
Because it makes the room smell good just the way it is.
So why is it in your room? Because see, what you did was, let's back up. Because you made that woman hurry up and come get it from me, telling her, oh, before Moni lights it, for it to end up in your room? That's awfully black of you.
Well, you know, it was Black History Month. I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure I made Black History.
Isn't that awfully peculiar that it was hurry up and get it from Moni and it's in there with you? That's awfully cute. All righty then. Catherine said, oh no, I had it burning the first day I got it. But where did it end up after that?
Thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Where is it? It was just in your hand. So interesting. So interesting.
Now, see, I won't ask you where you got your hat. You stay out of my candle and where my candle's at.
I told you I stole it.
Okay. Well, I didn't steal this. It was left in here. And I haven't said anything about it being in here.
Interesting. It's just all very interesting. That's all I like to say about it.
Okay.
Back to what I'm excited about. I'm just a little confused about that. Okay. I'm excited about our guest tonight because you know how I love me some special effects and some horror, honey. Horror. I want to make sure I pronounce that correctly. Horror, because I know how you like to throw things off track sometimes. Let me also say thank you to our WUBI radio and TV listeners out there. We appreciate you guys for hanging there with us and always coming in and holding it down for us. All of those 150 countries out there, whatever language you are listening to us in, we appreciate that. I want to go someplace and listen to myself in another language and see how that comes out for me. I definitely want to do that. Russia.
I'm not touching them.
We're huge in Russia, Nigeria. What other country are we? I have to think of some of the other ones that we're huge in. But Russia, we're definitely huge in Russia. Ukraine.
Now, see, stop saying we huge in Russia. Homeland Security be over here monitoring our show. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You know, blacks ain't usually huge in Russia. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden now we huge in Russia.
Figure out what I am.
Yeah, so like we're not big in Russia.
I'm world peace. How about that? I could be the person that was born into the world to bring world peace. How about that?
That'll make for a good storyline in the movie, but I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's something. Not reality, but a movie.
No, it wouldn't be reality at all. Okay, not at all.
I am probably one of the most peaceful people you'll ever meet. You said it travels. Yeah, that's, she's always trying to come to your defense in this nice, sweet way instead of just saying he's a thief. It's fine. It's fine.
I didn't leave it in here, so theoretically, I didn't steal it.
Well, it's in there in your hands.
Okay.
I'm
Matter
not
of
going to
fact,
argue with you about this candle all night.
no, because we'll get back on your hat. And what was that about? Where it came from?
I told you. I don't remember where I stole it from. I said that from the
So
very beginning.
basically, here's what we have: we have admissions of stealing things,
Yes.
and then we're big in Russia.
Denial of stealing things.
Right, right. But then we're big in Russia.
Yeah.
So I want you to put all these people, just these pieces together. Doesn't it sound like it might be a political conversation? There's
It
one
very
cat.
often. It's
There's
very
one.
often.
There's one cat
It's
that's
very
denying.
often.
That's right. But I'm saying one cat's denying something. Then we got somebody over here. We big in Russia, and I stole something. Okay. I'm just saying. Maybe it's me.
You know what I say? You sound like Trump. I was going to start cursing. Liar. Liar. I'm telling the truth. I stole it. I stole it.
Now you're starting to sound like Nixon. Yeah, I did it. I did it.
But I'm not
I did it. Yes, I did it.
But I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook.
Woo!
I stole it, but I'm not a crook.
All right.
Two different things. And I don't remember where I stole it from, in all honesty.
And I don't know how that stain got on Monica Lewinsky's dress. Okay.
We digress. Oh my God.
I figured if we don't cover the prisoners, I don't want to leave the first black president out. Okay. Because that was a cat that went on Arsenio, played a sax, and turned around and admitted. Oh yeah, I smoke a joint.
I don't know. I don't talk politics on here, but the brother was smooth. I'll say that. So now back to what I love though. Horror. Talking about Bill Clinton. Horror and blood and gore. So we were there. You missed the film festival, so you didn't get to meet him in person, but you of course know who he is.
I know who he is, yes.
You absolutely do. Because you were like, who's our guest? And I ignored you, rolled my eyes, because I was just floored and upset. And then you came to your senses and you said, who did you say was here? Who was coming?
I said, oh, Kang, yes.
Yeah. And I said, yeah, CKB. I said, because that's what he's getting called by me.
CKB. Okay.
Look, there were so many pictures. I wanted to do so many different flyers. It was like crazy. I was just sitting up in the room. It's like, okay, this one. So I have so many pictures just to show because this man has done so much. Much is just crazy ridiculous.
I'll give you one. I'll give you the trivia question of the night.
Well, it's 7:19. So you want to ask it right quick before we bring him on? You want to say
all right.
it?
What was the first movie that he starred in, he directed, and he produced?
He's smiling down there. I see him.
Yep. That's how far back that brother go. Tell me. You ride on it every day if you're in a skyscraper. You ride on it if you're going between floors in a department store.
All right.
Escalation.
Hold on. So now let me go ahead and thank our sponsors right quick because we're going to get into it, and I'm getting ready to totally fan out. I've already said that. If you guys saw how I put the promo down, I put in there what Moni Luvs Effects does, and I don't even get into that stuff. I just put about the person, but I did it. I put it there. So let me thank my gracious sponsors, Moni Luvs Effects, Chris Lay Media, Lighthouse Styling and Beauty, Get Bodied by Stephanie. I got her on right here. WUVI Ubiquity Radio. We want to thank all of you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you, what you bring to the show and what you do for us. Absolutely. But we want to bring on our guest. Are you ready to come on in with us? We got CKB coming in, guys. I'm like, I'm going to get all giddy. Hey
guys, CKB here. Hi, hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Chris. Nice to see you again, Moni. Nice to meet you, Chris.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
We share alpha name.
Yes, we do.
I am so excited and so glad to have you here with us.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here. And like, that was the best introduction ever. People must have been thinking like, who the hell is this guy? Can I curse on this thing?
Yes.
Being Italian, I curse a lot. If I don't say fuck a couple of times, I can't go on. So, like, who the fuck is this guy? What are they talking about? I'm just a crazy dude.
Here, we'll throw this up one more time.
For the listener's discretion, this podcast contains strong language and adult themes that may not be suitable for children. These are not the views of the radio station or its affiliates.
There we go. Because that was the first thing you asked me when you sat down when we were at the film festival. You was like, "Can I cuss?"
Yeah. I like the disclaimer.
Yes.
Usually when I go around, I mean, not always, but after a couple of days I'm at a festival or an event, people get very scared. Like, oh, this guy curses a lot. This guy is trouble when he's around and he makes his jokes and shit. So I just like, disclaimer is important. I don't want to Italians like to make jokes.
But it's usually me. The disclaimer is for me.
Okay, that's perfect. Then we.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that was thrown out there. Yes, see, that was good. That was so good.
It's for me. I'm getting ready to do a summit this weekend, and I had a little meeting right before the show, and she's like, well, we're going to have some volunteers, and they're from the church. So Moni, clean up your little potty mouth. And I was like, hell, they don't cuss more than me. Just wait to the end. Just wait to the end. So yeah, it's for me. It's totally for me.
No, I will try to behave. We don't want to upset people. I'll try to be nice.
No, you just be you. We fine.
Be you.
I mean,
be you.
In Italy, usually there is like one saying that people that don't curse are like the one you need to be careful about.
They're the ones you need to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like who curses mean he's more honest and it can be a good friend, a good pal.
Absolutely. Like as soon as you said that and you kept saying, I'm crazy. And I'm like, oh yeah. This is my family right here. This is us. We're together.
We good.
Yeah.
We're good. Awesome.
We fit right in together. Absolutely. And so you kept telling me about the film. You kept telling me, of course, that was your job. That's what I was interviewing you for. But you kept talking about the film and kept telling me how crazy you were and everything. And I'm like, sure you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. It's going to be crazy and everything. You're fucking crazy.
No. You know what I love about this? I asked you a trivia question in the beginning. Now, do me a favor, CKB. Show her what shirt you have on.
What?
The shirt you have on right now. That's the answer to the trivia question.
Oh, yes, the shirt. Here. Can you see it?
Yep. Uh-huh.
This is cool, right?
That's it. No, you had it. That's the whole poster.
Yes, that's the whole poster. Like
yeah.
T-shirt that are coming out. Poster by Casey Booth. Casey is an amazing artist that is inspired by, they see comics from the 50s, Tales from the Crypt, and Bolt of Horror, and so amazing this red T-shirt. So represent escalation. Yes, the answer is here, guys. Even if you don't in the screen.
And see, he had it on before I even saw that he was coming. That the screen came up.
Oh, right. Okay, nice. I'm glad that it's easy to notice the T-shirt. Like I literally got them 2 days ago. So.
Well, that was the movie that you starred in, produced, and directed.
Yes. Usually when I was living if you know my backstory, Chris, I was living in Asia doing martial art films and action movies. But I was mainly like an actor or an action director, a fight choreographer. I never really did everything myself. And then Escalation was my overall debut as a filmmaker, producer, writer, and I did a lot of things on my own, so to speak. Like many indie filmmakers do, want to kind of prove their worth, so to speak.
I love it. Now I'm gonna put it on my bag. I need an autographed T-shirt. I'll pay for it, but I need an autographed T-shirt. I have to have one.
Okay, I will send. You don't need to pay for it. It's my pleasure. I'm gonna send one to you, Moni, one to you, Chris, so you have it. I'm gonna sign it.
Yeah, no, because I've watched your career since 19. Oh gosh, was it 2008 or 2009, because there was something he did a short movie called The Final Meeting.
Yes.
He did a movie called The Final Meeting, and that was where I first saw his work at.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there was another one, Lies and Honor, Honor Among Thieves, something Honor and Lies, or Lies and Honor, something. Those were both the two that really got me into looking at your work.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even know they were out, honestly, to be honest. They're like,
Well, I have inside friends, see, who send me little things, and then that got me into um, uh, Wise Guy, I think was the name of it.
oh yeah, there was like a tiny TV series that we did. Like, it's one of the first things that I did when I was in Shanghai.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of it. Wise Hit, Wise something.
Yes.
Wise Guy is something, and I remembered watching it, and I remembered looking at the choreography and a lot of the fight scenes. You take a lot of your style is similar to the old Chinese films.
Oh yeah, yeah. When it comes to action, I'm like into like the old school Jackie Chan movies.
Right.
So I mean, there's some movies like I think you can find the streaming somewhere. Like more recent one is called like Break a Deadlock, and another one is called like The Fake Killer in Chinese. Like The Fake Killer, like Mao Pai Sha Shou. And if you see these two, they're like the choreography is very like very Jackie Chanish, cartoonish. I mean, people get hurt, but not that hurt, so to speak. So they keep hitting each other back and forth, and they keep coming. And, getting up again and getting beaten up. I mean, I always love like the old school Hong Kong movies from the 80s. That's why I to make those movies.
I think I found something because I did some creeping on you. I did some creeping way back, and I think it was off of something Dragon page that you got there. It's a deader page back there, and you were talking about kind of like booing down on the CGI of today, and talking about the great craft and art of actually doing martial arts, and the Jackie Chan's and the Bruce Lee's, of the art of actually doing the stunts yourself instead of all of the CGI mess that they're doing now. You were talking about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, in Asia there was like a different way of doing action. Like now they're implementing CGI more, but I mean, when we come to martial arts and fight scene and fight choreography, they just like to show the real thing. That's why, now Hollywood is doing better in creating martial art fight. You see John Wick, all these movies with like crazy martial art scenes. But Korean movies, Hong Kong movies, Chinese movies, Japanese movies, any kind of fight scenes from those films are like realistic. The stuntmen are some of the best in the world. They really get hit. They really get hurt sometimes. And that's why one of the secrets of like great actor like Jackie Chan or Donnie Yen, that now is making the Ip Man movies. I don't know if you see Ip Man 1, 2, 3, all these series of things. Oh yes, this is like a movie that I did with this stunt double, Donnie Yen stunt double. They are all very popular because people look like they're getting really kicked and hurt and fall down hard on concrete floor. And people think it must be like fake or editing tricks. No, it's real. Stuntmen in Asia, they just get paid more to be hurt more. Say, can you take this kick to the face, full force? You may end up in an hospital. We're going to pay you this amount of money each time we have to perform the kick on you. And so I had some friends that they do the kick 10 times, so they make a lot of money. And then they are out of work for 3 months because their jaw is broken. So this is why Asian movies, they're always like the craziest looking one when it comes to action.
But see, if I remember, you had done something to your right knee back in 2012.
Yes, when I moved, it happened right before actually I moved to China. So I had this big dream of going there and become like an action actor in Asia. I wanted to be like, following the footsteps of Jackie Chan. Again, he was my main inspiration. And just a couple of weeks before traveling there, I was shooting these 2 short films that you mentioned before. And just during one fight, I landed bad. I was doing a spin kick. I landed bad on my knee, on my right knee, and broke my ACL. So completely torn in 2 parts. And so the doctor said, you cannot perform, for any athlete, like a soccer player, football player, a torn ACL, a broken ACL, completely severed, is basically invalidating. And I'm like, no, I just bought my ticket. I spent 2 years teaching martial arts to make the money to buy the ticket. I'm not going to waste that money. I just going to go to China. So I went with without the ACL, so to speak. And after a year working in another film, I broke my knee because after 1 year of working on set, I actually in the end the knee gave up.
Okay.
But that what kind of gave me the name Kang, and that's why even if I was like, obviously I was like a foreigner in a foreign land, so to speak. So many people were like, "Oh, you're going to Asia and you think you're gonna do this job. Why should they allow you to do that?" Right? They are the best in what they do. They won't be happy to have you kick their asses on screen. That's horrible. My friends are all saying this. Why do you think like they're gonna let you kick? Their asses. They're the best in the world. I'm like, I'll try. I have the passion. I love the culture. I learned the language. I learned Mandarin. And then when they saw me fighting on set, they saw that my knee was like shaking and twisting, and they got curious. Like, are you tired? Do you want to rest? Why is your knee like this? I'm like, no, I don't have an ACL. And that what kind of kickstarted like my sort of like little legend, so to speak, like the crazy Italian guy. Oh, this crazy Italian guy with like an injured knee just comes over and just like want to get kicked around. Amazing. Okay, come on in.
No, but that's where the new legend. That's where the piece, the new legend begins, came from. That's where you got your name Kang from.
Yes.
From that.
The short film, and they let me.
Right.
They gave me actually like 2 weeks to shoot the whole fight scene, and in this club in Shanghai, they say you direct it, you pick up your own stunt guys, make up your team, and collaborate with it was a Chinese American director. Just make a short, just show it, and then they call it Kang. The new legend begins, Kang the Chuan Qi in Chinese, and then I just adopted the nickname Kang, and that's why like my sort of career started in Asia.
But that's how and they took that and they kept using that as your reel, so people could see it.
Yeah. Basically, it became like a sort of like a showcase, and then I briefly worked in Italy for 1 year in 2014, hosting like some adventure games on TV. They part in a sort of like Amazing Race, European.
Yeah. Right.
And they just and Kang stuck with me as a name, so people wouldn't know me. Even in Italy, they know me as Kang, Kang. They don't call me Kang in Italian with Italian accent. So I just kept the name. I think it's like it's an interesting surname.
It is.
So now on this one, let me ask you on this one right here, the picture that's up there. I think the quote underneath it was, you were saying to them, "Oh, they think that I'm so nice. I hope they like me after they know how hard and how demanding I am." It was the quote that was underneath this picture.
Yes, I mean, like, I mean, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so if you've seen a skeleton, like my all-around view, I like to take care of cinematography and like a camera movement. So even if I was just doing action in Asia or like choreography in the fight scene, I was the kind of guy that nowadays I think everywhere they shoot movies faster. They just want to get quicker. That's why even like big Hollywood movies, or when they do Marvel movies, the stunt team, right, or the second unit directors, they're always like kind of complaining, like, we don't have time. They just say, "Oh, do the action scene fast, and then the rest of the movie is gonna look amazing." And the action with the editing is gonna look amazing anyway. So in Asia, they're kind of starting to take the same approach, especially in the mainland China. But I was always the guy that like, no, we need to take the time to make the action scene as they're supposed to be. And if I had to make it, take one shot like 30 times, I do it. For escalation, some of the shots, when I am controlled by this evil entity, I take them like 37, 40 times.
Wow.
Very demanding, and people like, I argued a lot with some directors on set when I was working in Shanghai, just because they were like, "Oh, it's good enough, move on." And I'm like, "No, it's not good enough, just do another take." So I was kind of like a pain in the ass for many, but then in the end, the final result was always like pretty decent, and actually at the best of the possibilities of the budget and the time. And I end up like a couple of times, just funny stories. Some directors, because I was only directing the action, right? Then the movies is another director and doing the acting scene. That's how they make in Asia. So you have the action director that create amazing action, and then the story director that directs the actor and the acting, the normal parts. And some directors, they got upset with me because of my way of making action, and they would do a second feature film after working with me, trying to call somebody else to make the action, the same action. And every time that happened, it happened 2 or 3 times, I knew for a fact that they would call me back. And it always happened after they finish the movie, they call me back and say, "Christian, Kang in that case, we did a movie and the action sucks. we really would like you to come on board and reshoot those scenes. I'm like, we can't reshoot your scenes. So
because they saw the rushes. And
yeah,
when they saw the rushes, when they finally sat down and saw them, see,
yes, they were
see,
like,
with the action movies, people don't realize with the action movies, the fight scenes are filmed first,
yes,
and then everything else is built around it, and nobody can understand why. Well, if your star gets hurt during the fight scene, then we have enough time to put somebody else in there, get his behind out, and put somebody else in. But if they get hurt, if we do the fight scene and we're right in the middle of production, then
yes,
we got it jammed.
yes,
Right.
So,
especially
yeah,
in Asia, like especially this is like a staple of Hong Kong movies since the 70s or the 80s. Every the movies are built around the fight scenes. You do
right.
the fight scenes first, and then you create the story around those. That's why many people, they kind of like, obviously there are amazing movies coming from Asia all around, like great director John Woo, Tsui Ark. There are so many amazing.
Yes.
But then obviously you have also the great martial art films with great action and maybe weaker story that you say, the
Yes.
story is like kind of cheesy, and that's why, because they were doing the action first and then in the end just glue together the action pieces with a story. So it happened that maybe like script wise or dialogue would suffer, but then you got some amazing action movies and again like Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, Yuan Biao, Gordon Liu, like 36 Chambers of Shaolin, like Police Story, like crazy action movies or martial art films. So that's how
So
they.
now, so you talked about when we spoke before with Escalation that it was illegal for you to film that there, and how you've had to film that inside, and that your special effects makeup artist quit on you because of the magnitude of what you wanted to do. They were like, "No way, Jose, I'm out of here," and you had to take over doing the special effects.
Yes, Escalation. I when it came around 2017, I kind of felt my Asian chapter was over. I felt the need to kind of because again, there is a lot of things that you cannot show on camera. Many things are censored. The horror genre is not allowed to be screened on a big screen because there is Chinese culture. There is a lot of superstition about the afterlife. So I felt like I want to do crazier things. I need to kind of okay, my Asian chapter, I done my martial art movies. I know I lived that experience. Now it's time to leave. And I decided I couldn't come back to the West empty-handed, because if I would have come back to Italy and whatever, America, just showing some action scenes, a lot of people can do those.
Right.
You have 8711, people that do Marvel movies, John Wick, again, they do amazing fight scenes nowadays. So I wanted to just have a business card to show people what I could do as a director, not just as an action guy. And I wanted to debut in the horror genre. So when it came time to shoot Escalation, it was very tough, because just to find the crew that would agree to be on set with me for such a bloody piece, everybody was like, they were very afraid or worried about what could happen. And at the same time, Escalation didn't have a tiny budget. I had some savings, so I invested quite a bit in the piece. And I just wanted to prove it just one time what I could do, even in terms of practical effects, the gore. So I wanted to make it like a comic book, something that looks amazing, like a proper Hollywood production, a proper horror film, and with amazing gore, but super realistic. Not the cheesy gore, the kind of funny things. No, hyper realistic. And obviously, without much budget, the props were limited. I couldn't have 10 different hands, just to, if something get messed up, I changed the prosthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So one day when I was doing the chopping of the fingers, whatever, I'll spoil the piece for who hasn't seen it yet. The makeup artist, the person that was on set, was supposedly helping me. She just refused. She's like, "No, you don't have the right props. You don't have the money. It's gonna take you too much time. You're already so slow, and I don't think it's gonna look good." And and in front of the other people of the crew, she just refused. She told me I was an idiot, and she refused to help me.
Oh wow!
So instead of getting upset, I'm just I'm shooting. I just need to finish this. I'm like, don't worry, just go in the living room, in another room of the set, the location. Just leave it off. Just leave. Look at your phone. Watch some TV series. I take care of this. And it was a scene, if you remember, when actually my finger they get broken in half. There is I use a meat cleaver to split them in half. And I just did the effect myself, attach the prosthetic, find a way to make like the bone feel like consistent and like concrete, so it could break and you could hear the snap even if you don't have sound on. And it turned out to be probably the most impressive shots of the film. When that comes up, people are already like, oh, no. But then when that happens, everybody goes like, oh, no, it didn't. And so I did it myself. I called her back in the room and I said, I'm not going to argue. I just want you to sit in front of the monitor. Look at this. And she looked at it and she was like silent for like a couple of minutes, long time. And then she apologized and she said, okay, I did like, I don't know what I was talking about. And I told her, remember, if in the 80s, Sam Raimi, Peter Jackson, Wes Craven, they were doing amazing gore movies so many years ago, there's no reason for you in 2021, 2022, not to be able to make good gore. That's just your mindset that is, stuck on what you learned from whatever academy or makeup school you went to, and you believe things are not possible. Well, as long as you're creative and you want to put in the work, everything can look amazing. If you surrender to, you're like, oh, it's so hard, it's not how it's supposed to be made, then you're never going to make anything good. And she learned the lesson, and then she became nicer, and she stuck around for a while. But I did a lot of stuff myself in the end.
Well, look, you pushed the envelope and pushed the envelope and then went and got 2 more envelopes, because just when you think, oh, he's gone, enough. Nope.
Something more comes up.
Oh my gosh. Because I don't want to tell the people. I put links down there so they can watch the trailer and do all of that, because to see it is still not to even believe it. Like, I stayed in the cold, for that screening. You were one from the last. And because you said how crazy you were, and then because you said you did the special effect yourself, because I didn't want you to tell me over the air, like, what exactly it was. I'm like, just tell me a little bit. You said finger. I'm like, okay, I want to see this. I was freezing my ass off, okay? Like, I was freezing. And I'm there and I'm like, I got to see this. I was so, like, my mouth was just on the ground. It was on the ground. And I mean, I was speechless. I was like, holy shit. I can't believe what I just watched. I can't believe he did that shit. I was in awe. And anyone will tell you about me, Moni, in any area of my life, my personal life and my professional life. I don't compliment easily. I don't throw around compliments. I don't have to, and I don't do it. I don't do it to make people feel good. I don't do it to advance. I don't do it. I only do it when I mean it. And I'm not a fangirl. I am a fangirl of you.
I was wondering when that was going to come out. Okay, I really was.
Look, I'm going to admit it. I admit I stole this hat from someplace. Not a store, but from someone. I don't know. One of my sons, I'm sure. But
thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed so much. And
I did. You saw, like, I was like, when is he coming back? He's got to be coming back, because I got to say it to his face. And like, as soon as you walked in on that Sunday, I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, I had to tell you, I'm like, oh my God, your movie, so fucking good. Just like, oh my God, totally fanned out. Totally, like, almost that he probably thought he had to get a restraining order or something. Probably was a little fucking nervous.
I've seen your work as a makeup artist, and the practical effects that you do and the gore, and it's amazing. So coming from someone like you, that's the best compliment ever. And that's why when you talk to me at the festival, and oh wow, this is what you do, and I recognize you from your previous work, I'm like, okay, if she gives me like the thumbs up for the gore, I know I done good. So
that's when you guys, thank you, but that's when you guys really, like, because all of you all were over to the side, and then you guys turned fan on me. I'm like, I saw you guys talking and pointing, I'm like, why are they pointing at me? And I'm like, whatever. And then all of you all came over, they were like, did you do Finally You? And I'm like, yeah. And they were like, oh my God. I'm like, what? And they were like, we saw, and it was great. Like,
yes, no, it was amazing, because actually, like, I've been touring the festival circuit for a year, and there are very few shorts that kind of get as gory as Escalation does.
Yes.
I remember from the Buried Alive in Atlanta, this festival, like in March, like when I saw Finally You, I'm like, okay, this is really gory. This is like amazing, gory, funny. And it always stuck with me. The only movie that could compete with Escalation with the amazing gore and the story and the way it was shot. And then when I saw it, it told me the name. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's her. She made that short that stuck in my mind for months. So that was like a circle, closing itself.
There you go. That was good.
Everyone on set ended up with blood on them.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of blood. That was maybe escalation.
And I have that hand on my dash. I drive around with that hand on the dash, and I tell people I wanted to take, because I made severed penises also that were in the refrigerator. And when you open up the refrigerator, when they open up the refrigerator, they had the severed body parts in there. But I couldn't get away with driving around with severed penises.
With severed penises and a severed hand.
Yeah, but when I was look at Chris. But I told the story.
Just the whole dashboard full, right?
Yes.
Cop pulls you over. It's like, yes. Well, what happened was,
you give me a warning, I'm giving you a warning right here on the dash.
Right.
Last cop that gave me.
The last cop that gave me a ticket, right?
When I was making the severed penises, I was making them in the garage, and at that time he was my boyfriend, and someone was coming up from OfferUp to buy something from him, and so then they look over and they're like looking at me making severed penises, and I'm like, mind your business.
They'll be like, okay, there's something weird going on. That's the unusual amount of severed penises that these ladies make. Okay.
We've seen one or two, but we got 25 over here. There's something wrong. There's something wrong.
I could take 2 or 3 for like
1 or 2 or 3. That's fine. But she's taking this to a new extreme. Okay.
Exactly. What number makes it weird, sir?
I think that in your neighborhood that 25 did it. Yeah.
And then Jamie, the director. So it was for the scene where the cut down here.
Yeah, I remember.
And so he's like, "Hey, can I push the plunger for the blood?" And I was like, "Okay," because everybody thinks it just looks easy and I can do it. And so I'm like, because he's a director, yeah, go ahead. And so there was a wall, and I was on the other side of the wall with the monitor, and we're all like this, and you hear action. And all of a sudden, all of us felt and saw blood on the monitor, and all of us. And we were like, what the hell? There was no blood over there.
Oh my goodness.
It pulled off, and it just, and it went everywhere else. They had to repaint and everything. He was like, Moni, here, I'm sorry.
There you go, do it. Yes. No,
I'm sorry.
I agree with you. It's an art form. Just got to spray blood in the proper way, according to even which artery you center in the scene or whatever you're doing. And to spray properly is not easy. People think it's just like you just pump it from a syringe,
how high you hold it, everything direct. Like I'm doing it, but they're kind of like how, and not calling anybody a child, but how a child just looks at you doing something, but they don't understand you're using gravity, you're using angles, and all that type of stuff. They're not thinking, they're not knowing that, because I'm just doing it because I know. And they're like, oh, let me just do it. I'm like, okay.
Well, at the last murder scene I was at, it basically, back when I saw, look, I know this is going to work in this next movie because I just saw it yesterday, right down the street from my house. This is how the blood went. It went just.
I mean, it's happened to me several times with directors. I was doing a vomit scene, and he's like, "Let me throw the vomit in her face." I'm like, "Okay."
Go ahead.
And he did. And it just all went here and straight down. Never made it to her face. And he was like, "I'm sorry, here, Moni." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it takes skills. It's not easy. And that's what makes sense from like a very realistic, like impactful gore, and instead you feel like it's not really working, and it becomes kind of funny. You know? And then I remember, like finally, the gore. That's why it stuck with me, because in Escalation I got the approach. I want it to be realistic and unsettling when you watch it. And you know the short film that you made, like Finally You, it was so real. The gore, it was really like you could feel the pain of these two fighting each other. Like that was really like the only within this year that I've seen that's really like probably like some of the best top realistic gore effect ever.
I appreciate that. I because I work hard to be known as a special effects artist that does realistic special effects.
You are doing great, more than great, I would say.
Yeah, she practices cutting off penises just so that she can get the effect right. Matter of fact, that phone call you just heard was a woman calling her to tell her, my husband was out last night. I'm going to need your special services. Okay.
It's time.
For your movies.
Right. It's time. There are 27 penises on set. Now, you figure out which one is real. But there is one real that's in here.
I mean, in the future, now they're making all these like TV shows about serial killers and stuff.
Yes.
They're going to tell the story of Moni, the lady they used to cut penises
Right.
and make like realistic prosthetic for horror movies. That's actually a horror movies in itself.
Well, see, that would be that's perfect, because then it's like, okay, well, how is she getting rid of the body parts? She was giving them to the prop master, and the prop master was putting them away in the warehouse. So
Yes, preserved perfectly by her.
that's it.
Some bodies with
I think that would be an excellent film to make. 15 years after she dies, they find out.
You know something? We're going to mess around, and three of us going to be sitting up in the middle of the night talking about, all right, what should we put here? And what should we put here? Yeah, and we're going to come up with a movie, and then we're going to have to tell the story about 5 years from now. You remember when we were on that show back on March 1st, 2023? This is where that show came. This is where the concept for this show came. Right. This is where it was concept right here. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Look, I always tell them the makeup artist is the most dangerous person on set. Absolutely most dangerous. Like, never fuck with your makeup artist. I've had talent do it. I'm like, dude, you should know not to fuck with me. I am the last person that touches you. Stop it. Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Hey, that's gotta be cool. The special effects murders.
Yeah. The SFX murders.
You laughed. That's it.
That's it. Perfect.
Or not even special effects, just the FX murders.
The FX murders.
The FX murders. That's perfect. Now people are going, what the FX is FX?
That rash looks, because if you only knew how many people go home that don't take off the makeup because it looks so real, and they say, they're like, no, I want to go scare people. I want to go to dinner like this. Like, I just did a film, and I painted the people blue. I painted them blue. One was a professor at the university, and we surely thought that she was going to go and watch this. She's like, no, I'm going to dinner. And we were like, okay, professor. She's like, I'm going to dinner.
Okay. People like from Avatar. Like, okay.
Well, people in the restaurant going, yeah. Okay, whatever she ordered, we ain't getting that. Yeah, so we gonna order anything. Like, we don't want it. Whatever turned her blue. No, waiter, we don't want that.
It's empty. 5 minutes, everybody leaves.
Like, right.
She was so geeked to go out amongst and do the rest of her day blue. She was so geeked. So they want to go out that way afterwards.
I had a funny story. I don't know if it's as crazy as the lady in blue. That's but then a friend, like, I had him have a cameo in one of the films that I was doing in Shanghai, and there was a big fight scene. It was more realistic. It was more brutal. So he had some scars and blood, and he was about to leave for Italy the next morning after I would finish shooting his scene, and he just went to the freaking airport like that. And then he called me from the plane, and I'm like, "Oh, why are you calling me?" He's like, "Man, they didn't want to let me in the plane." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't wash my makeup off." And they thought I had to explain that I was acting and stuff. I'm like, dude, just wash your makeup. You are going through security at a freaking airport in Shanghai. That's not ideal. He was laughing, just like, okay, I see. I got another friend. Actually, it's not a friend. It's me. I forgot, like, it was a huge ass combat knife. The makeup guy wasn't me. He's a friend of mine. But they caught a huge ass combat knife in my backpack. Shanghai airport, security goes, bling, bling, bling. They open the freaking backpack. There's this massive combat knife. Real. With some bright blood on it. And I'm like, and it's real because in China, some props, we use also some real stuff for some scenes. I forgot in my backpack, I was shooting something the previous week. I forgot I had the prop just on the bottom of the backpack. Luckily, they, okay, they recognize me. So, okay, it's a prop. And I say, you can throw it away. And luckily, I had a friend that came with me, you know, and she came in and said, no, I'm the producer of this. It's a prop. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I put it like, then I was like, you don't want to travel with a freaking combat knife in the backpack through security.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But being famous and recognized and having someone else take the blame, that's always a good thing.
Oh, yeah. You know, everybody should have a blame person in their entourage.
Absolutely.
Okay, if something go down, dog, you it. You know?
Yeah.
Right. But
yeah, when they pull out the knife, especially, you know, in Shanghai, where, you know, weapons are not allowed, there's nothing, no gun. It's really something you don't want it to happen.
Well, it's any country you don't want to pull out a machete at the airport.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure any country you don't want to do that.
Yes.
See, and the other thing you don't want to do is yell across the airport to your friend named Jack and go, "Hi, Jack." No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. That has a bad result. It really does. Okay, it has a bad result. I'm here to tell you it is real. I did it. Won't do it again. I will. You know what? If I got a friend named Jack and I'm traveling with him, I'm going to call him Bonehead. Hey, stupid, sausage head, something. I am not calling, because it was real innocent. You know, we in JFK. It was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. In which he's changing planes. We're all going to go to the same place together. And he's coming towards us. I didn't know he was coming. And so it was like, oh, man, hey, hi, Jack. Yeah, no, do not be, no. And that is not racially motivated. They didn't care if I was white, black, green, yellow, orange, because many of them cats that jumped on me, you couldn't tell what color I was. Okay. I mean, there was no parts of my body sticking out at all. Okay. Not at all. They were like, oh, really? You ain't doing that? Yes. You know,
I would have conveniently threw my machete over there to you. At that
no, because somebody else would have got it. My hands weren't even out. Couldn't get it nowhere.
My machete would have ended up in that pile.
No, man. But did you hear about Rob?
Can you take it from me, man?
Yeah, right here. Special effect.
Here's his machete.
Now, did you hear about Rob Kabansky? I think his name is. I can never get his last name right. So please, Rob, forgive me. He has an actual 7-foot tall wolfman. Did you hear about this? Where his wolfman, somebody stole or somehow acquired video of his wolfman.
Okay.
And laid it in the middle of a road. I believe it's in Brazil somewhere, some foreign country, and they played it on the news. They played it on the news. Wolfman found blah, 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 blah. And it was unreal because I've got pictures of me with the Wolfman laying on the plastic next to me.
What?
I've taken pictures of Wolfman laying in Rob's house. He was doing some work on it and I was taking pictures. This thing is real. If you don't know it and you walk into his house, and it happens to be like in his shop.
Does it move?
There's a freaking werewolf.
Do you know what? I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Okay, I don't want you to feel bad about how I'm gonna say this. The way you asked me doesn't move. Okay, let me explain. I know you didn't notice this. I'm black. I'm not waiting to find out if it moves. Do you understand?
But you took pictures with it.
I took pictures with it. It wasn't moving. No, understand? See, if you ever notice, look at Frankenstein. Look at Frankenstein, look at Dracula, look at Hunchback.
They all move.
That's right. And you know what else you noticed that is not in that movie? Black folks.
People.
Okay, we are not in that movie. We don't do that movie. Right, we don't do them movies.
These are facts.
The one time, think about the times we have done movies. Samuel Jackson, he was the baddest cat in monster movie history. We just knew the brother was going to make it out. Jurassic Park. Only thing made it out was his arm. Okay, think about that. Then we figured, okay, fine. Scream. There was no brothers in Scream 1. Scream 2, I think it was
We know
Scream 2.
what's happening. We know what's happening.
Scream 2 or Scream 3. I don't remember which one it was. The credits hadn't even come up yet.
Yes.
Omar Epps is standing there taking a piss. Shut up! Right? No. See, I'm not that guy.
It's just not realistic.
Right. I'm not that guy. I'm not. So
Only
see,
in the movies is that happening.
Man,
Only in the movies is that happening.
When I went to Rob's house, he's got a beautiful, almost like an airplane type hangar, space, and we were doing, I think a short named called Dinner Time, and the area that we were going in, he's got, first of all, there's something wrong with Rob. Okay, there's something. I love the brother dearly, but there's something wrong with him.
That lets you know, don't invite him to your house.
Okay, this cat has got a dentist chair from back in like 1908 or something.
I think that's cool.
All right, then he's got a wheelchair from a sanitarium.
Cool.
Now he wants to tell me they're props. I'm looking him out the side of my face right about now. I don't see no dust on these props. Okay, so they've been
well kept.
Is that what that's called? Okay. Well, explain to me why the 7 foot tall hairy dude is laying in the middle, laying in there like, what up?
Relaxing.
Yeah, just all maxing and relaxing.
Why are you questioning this man about?
I'm not questioning him. Look, when you got a friend like that living in your airplane hangar, I ain't got nothing to say to you. I'm not questioning you about Jack.
You questioning, you putting that man out there like that. I don't like it.
No, but his whole the whole thing that really amazed me was that werewolf that he did was done so well that somebody aired it on I can't remember what country it was in. They aired it on the news, and people were losing their minds thinking that there was truly werewolves out there where they lived. That's how realistic this thing is.
I mean, kudos to the prop maker, to Rob.
No, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. I was on the set. He did something with the cutting off of the fingers and everything, and they used some pruning shears. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, fine, no problem. I'm behind the scenes. I don't care. Yeah, and when he did that, I'm like, click, click. He really, because it really looked like he cut the actor's finger off.
I love it.
I was like, oh, wait a minute.
I love it.
And then the guy was like, no, I'm all right. But then when he did it, he went, no, see, he didn't get me at all.
That's the moment you freaked out. That you like,
right, because there's still blood all around here.
I love it.
It was. I was like, okay.
I would love to go to his house.
No, his area is fantastic. He does some of the best work I've ever seen. The only person I've seen that does work as well as his, in the same scale, are the Westmores.
I would love
the Westmore family. Because Rob is really a master at what he does. He really is. And I've been to Rick Baker's place.
What do you have coming up next? What's next on? I know I saw that you're getting ready to go to another film festival.
Yes. I'm heading back to Atlanta tomorrow, actually, for the Renegade Film Festival. And I mean, as of now, I'm just keep touring the festival. The escalation is still going strong. And obviously, it's going to become a feature film. And I'm working on another feature film, like a horror sci-fi titled Hunting Sky. Is going to be like a big project with like a lot of gore and some aliens and some like alien abduction with like a torture and experiment on human beings. Some fucked up shit. So this
yes.
I was going to ask to be the BTS guy on there.
I love it.
But there's too many mixtures there for me. You got the aliens eating other people and somebody else. Just the way you described it. No, dog. Love you. I'm good.
Once the movies are made, you have to watch them. I'll send you like a front row seat. Chris, I want you there observing the gore and the blood.
Well, you can tell who, right, yeah, you can tell who your friends are. I'll be in the one seat in the whole theater that gets the real 3D effect. I got the blood, finger lands in my lap.
I'll be
I'll never
someplace with
get
a little spray gun of blood.
Right.
So
I love it. I love it.
I actually do. So now this is what I want to know, because I've been watching and trying to catch up or keep up with it, but it's so many film festivals that you've been winning in. How many awards thus far have you captured with Escalation?
Up until now, I think I'm closing on 80 awards.
80?
Yeah, 80. Yeah.
80 awards, and I think I got like 70 something nominations, and I still have, I think, a dozen festivals to go, like in Spain, US, England. So yeah, it's still good.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll try to beat the record, like 100. I just try to get to 100 trophies, awards.
I think you'll make it when you get to Great Britain. When you get to England, I think that's going to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it.
I'm getting closer.
Yeah.
You're going to surpass that for sure. I absolutely know that. You're going to surpass that. Congratulations thus far. Congratulations for the future. Anything you can see that you know that you're already going to improve on when you take it? Because you're going to take this to a feature film, right?
Yes.
What are you going to do different, or what are you going to add the extra sauce on it?
When Escalation is going to become a feature, the only weak part that I felt was like sound design, because the demon lines, I mean, I literally finished all the money, and so I had to just like pay a few $100 to a friend to try and make the sound design. It was good, very professional, but we didn't have enough time, so that was like a weak aspect. I want to definitely improve on that, because I believe sound is key to a movie.
Yes.
You know, the way you can mess up with your brain, with your mind, bring you into the story. And then Escalation, the short film, is like almost like it's very simple in story. It's just something very fun that you just enjoy. The feature film, the story digs deeper into the soul of this character, which is like a bad person, right? The Escalation, the lead, the character is a bad guy. He's a bad person that, you know, gets tortured himself to death, as if like, you know, like his conscience is eating him alive. So in the future, I'm gonna improve on this aspect, and the script deals with all his inner demons, and then it shifts into a redemption arc. So I want to make Escalation the future as a mix between an elevated horror, like Hereditary, you know, I'm very popular now, and something that is still very commercially valuable and just fun. So it would be like Hereditary meets Evil Dead, so that everybody can enjoy.
So everybody's going to be able to do it? Will everybody be able to see it? Will they be able to feel it? I really need for them to know just how I feel.
In Escalation, the short film, I had some instances where people like even like first-time responders or, you know, surgeons, they left the screening room. I always say the story now is like I make pride of these happenings, because the gore was so realistic. I got upset, especially the first-time responders. You know, it was very close to what they would see happen, you know, in some emergency situations. So they got up and they left. They said, I loved it. I just couldn't watch it.
Right.
So the goal with the feature film, Escalation in particular, but even the horror sci-fi, I just wanted people to just like be very uncomfortable as they're watching it. I want the gore environment beautiful, that they will want to leave, but they will be still stuck to the screen with their. Like, I don't want to.
Oh, that's lovely.
Awesome. I have to keep looking at it. That's my main goal.
Excuse me. They called us out here, and the heart is sitting on the sidewalk across the street. How are we going to put the... Oh, just put the heart in the next ambulance. Okay, 10-4.
So now, where do you plan on filming this time?
I mean, definitely it's going to become like Escalation become very popular in both in the US and Spain, especially. So I think all my projects, at least like Escalation the Future and Haunting Skies, they're going to become co-production between US and Spain, and maybe be split between the two countries. So the producers are happy and they can bring in the cast from Europe and cast from America. So it becomes very international. I have advantage of being like, you know, like, I'm a like international kind of person with all my years in Asia. So I'm like, I understand different cultures, and I kind of like being Italian. I think like I can kind of become a bridge between Europe and the States, because sometimes it's hard for them to collaborate. You know, it doesn't happen that often. So I feel like I have this kind of like leverage to make this happen and connect people. I think like nowadays, the more collaboration, the more like, things that are done together, create together between different nations and countries. It's what is going to be new in the end. What's going to make it like more unique and fun to watch, and like everything will become more like organic, so that everybody can enjoy the movie, the stories. They speak to everybody everywhere in the world, wherever they are.
I think that's no. I don't think that's ever been done.
No, it has. I worked on a Bollywood.
No, but I'm saying, but in the horror industry.
Oh no, not horror.
Right. See, in the horror genre, that has never been done.
You are correct. That's why there is like there is like the Italian horror, like the Gothic,
right,
from the 70s, and then there is the French extremism, French extreme horror, the very violent one, like Calvaire or like Hot Tension, very violent movies inside. And then there is the Spanish horror, which is more the ghost stories and the hauntings.
The back tales of it, right.
We saw Wreck, the found footage movie with the zombies. So Wreck 1, Wreck 2. And then there is the American horror, which is like the gory, more fun, like Evil Dead or like Nightmare on Elm Street. So every country has its own genre.
Absolutely.
But mixing things, you are correct, has not been done. It may have happened like a couple of times. Australia had their own extreme horror, Wolf Creek, Rogue, this kind of horror creature features. But yes, that's why I think like it's good to start mixing the different approaches and feelings about horror, how we can play in the mind of the audience. So that's why I think like it's very interesting, and I'm happy that I can make US and Spain, mixing these two countries together and gathering what both countries feel is like scary or upsetting. I think it's going to be like it's going to open the door for more co-production and even the world of horror, because horror,
a great fusion.
They do action movies. Hollywood collaborate with Asia when they want to make martial art film. With Malaysia, it happens.
Absolutely.
But horror is still like very like condensed to each country. Each country has its own genre. Each country has its own flavor. So it's time to make it international.
And the horror fans are very open. They're very open.
Family is like probably the best like family in the world. Like the
Absolutely.
horror, everybody love everybody else, and they all connect and they share opinions. There are people that love more the slashers, people that love like demonic possession movies. But at the end of the day, they're all friends. They just want to enjoy and see good content being produced and enjoy being scared.
That's the point, exactly. And I'm sure they'll say, "I've been waiting on this."
Exactly. No, exactly, because it has never been done in the history of horror. Because even when the original Frankenstein was done, that wasn't done in America. When the original Dracula was done, that wasn't done in America.
Yeah, definitely.
See, and then all of a sudden it became, even though the book was written by Mary Shelley, it was not done here until many years later.
Yeah. I mean, it's always been like, every country has its own. That's why England is known for the monsters and stuff, and also the ghost stories with the comedy, the dark comedy, with kind of English flavor.
Yeah.
So it's been always like very specific. Like Indonesia, they do a lot of like violent, more visceral, demonic possession films. So it's always been like. That's why it's fun, because you want to watch different horror movies, different flavors. You can pick French horror, Spanish horror, horror, American horror, South American horror. Argentina now they're making amazing horror films, and it's always different. But it's never been mixed and matched.
Never been mixed. No, never.
When you bring different sensibilities together.
And to do it well, you'll go down in history.
Yes. I mean, I just try to make the best of it, and I just want the audience to enjoy and just make them have a good time. I
think the timing is great, because we're talking about inclusion. We're always talking about inclusion, and for you to be able to put that together in a way that everybody is included, and it would be a wonderful project. I'd love to be there. I'd love to watch it. I'd love to be there and just be like, wow, I was here when they were putting this together.
Yeah, that's I believe like it is the future. That's why the future after even if I left like sort of, so to speak, like the martial art movies behind, but Asia is part of me. You know, my background in China, you know, is part of my life. It's part of what, like 1/3 of my life. So I'm gonna bring also that back in my movies, and I hope, even if it's always been very hard to make, especially the mainland China, work with the West, has always been very tricky. But I hope in the future to also be able to make that happen, so that, you know, movies become very like international and inclusive, and I think that become just more fun for everybody. You know, when you have all these different flavors and sensibilities together, then you have something new. Then it's not stale anymore. It's something like you feel like a breath of fresh air. I think that's the way to go.
But see, there's never been, and I say this because I know that at one point, I don't know how much you're keeping up on your Mandarin, but I know at one point you spoke Mandarin.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there's never been a Mandarin horror film.
No, I mean, yes, there's never been a proper like horror film,
Right?
in China spoken Mandarin.
That's it.
They have some that are more like I call them the Scooby Doo horror.
The Scooby Doo. See, that's what I said. The Scooby Doo horror films. Yeah.
Yes, but in the end, the ghost is not real; it's a scam.
Right.
So yeah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. So it's part of my goals. Slow. I mean, I feel like, you know, with commitment and creating good stories that can, you know, especially. I was actually happy about the escalation, because even if it's like a genre, as I said, violence and gore is not allowed, you know, where I was living before.
Right.
So he ended up being appreciated over there in a festival in Beijing. I also got award Best Director, Best Cinematography. So at the end of the day, he spoke to the audience there. At the end of the day, he was appreciated, even if it's something that goes so against what is supposed to be the good things to show on screen. So, you know, and horror is like an international language. You know, comedy is very selective. A movie that is funny in Italy maybe is not funny for an American.
Right.
Asia, maybe in Europe we watch it and we feel it's cheesy, it's not funny. But horror, it speaks to everyone, because everybody loves to be scared, and the things that you can touch in horror that can go from psychology, from like, you know, all kind of things you can horror and make them scary and realistic, and so everybody enjoys that. So I think it's the genre that at the end is going to connect different cultures in the easiest of ways, so to speak.
I agree. Scary is scary no matter what the language is.
Scary, exactly.
Yeah. A machete is a machete in the airport, no matter where you are.
No matter where you are.
No more knife or machete. Folks, no more.
This show must be doing something good. A lovely lady that I know, Boss Baby Miller, just signed in. So how you doing? Yeah, she's yeah. For her to be signing in, we must be hitting a new level of greatness. So that's a wonderful thing.
For signing in with us, and let me again throw out there, thank you for WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV for staying in there, hanging in there with us, and for all of our listeners on all of our platforms, whether you are listening and watching us live or if you're catching the replay, we appreciate you guys for hanging in there. And make sure to subscribe, follow, and share this broadcast with someone that you love. They want to laugh. They want to learn a bit more about horror and international shit that's going on. Let's say I'm holding on. That's what we're talking about. Says you're welcome, beautiful. Thank you so much. Was that for me or was that for CKB? Because CKB said he fine. That's what he said when he sat down with me the first time.
I think it's for you, Moni.
Okay.
I'm not gonna take credit for that.
I don't know. It took you being on the show for Boss Baby to be here. So I don't know, brother. I don't know.
I've been here for a long time.
I've been here for a long time, and yeah. But then again, she is the mother of one of the best hairstylists we knew, Pierre Scott. She's Pierre Scott. Right. Yes, Pierre was the godfather of her kids.
Yes. My sincere condolences for sure. But I'm glad that you were here. And yes, CKB is nice for you to look at. There you go, honey. But I know your husband, but yes, nice to look at still.
Cool. I'll keep it cool.
But you know what, Kang? I'm glad you were way over there, so you don't have to know nothing about her husband. Okay.
Yes, I would be scared. Like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm far
Yeah.
away. So I'm safe.
A pure Italian man there.
Yeah.
My penis stays where it is. Husband, don't worry.
Yes. So, anything else you like for the people to know before we let you go tonight? It has definitely been an enjoyable time.
Oh, I had a great time. Thanks you for having me. And I pretty much said all that I had to say. I just want to, I don't know if there's any filmmaker watching. I just want to tell them, because we're all like, involved in movie making, and we talk about props and the process of create art. Just like, whoever is listening, they want to make or create something, whatever field it is, just go for it. Even if it seems hard, just go for it. Chase your dream. Try hard. If you fail, you can always say, at least I tried. That's the best way to go with, forward with your like art or dreams. And yeah, if you have a chance to catch Escalation on any other festival, keep updated. Follow my Instagram page, and maybe you can catch it on the big screen. And I would love for you to see it. So I can only say that. Hopefully,
yes. And guys, make sure you look at go on to Instagram, go on to Facebook, go on to YouTube, Twitter, all of our pages. And when you look at that, all of the advertisements that I put in there are the links to go, and you can see the trailers, you can see everything, all of this information there, but there is a link for the trailer there that you can go and take a look at that and find out more information about Escalation, because baby, let me tell you, oh my God, wait, let me throw a picture up here from there again right quick before, I'm just saying, look, again.
Look, I'm going to wear my as soon as he send me my T-shirt, I'm gonna be.
I want you guys to wear the T-shirt. Send me a picture. We repost it. I love for you to wear it and show me how it looks on you. I'm sure kill it.
Well, you got to get the right size. I'm extra fat, so yeah.
I will get the right size and sign it.
Guys, look at that.
Yeah, that's
from the movie, right?
That is straight from
like the poster. Again, shout out to Katie Booth, who made the amazing design. So I'm like, it's a killer poster. I'm pretty satisfied about it.
So, and it says, they say a guilty conscience can eat you alive. And look at this picture there, guys.
Conscience is going to lunch.
Look.
It's going to lunch, yes.
Conscience is going to lunch.
You don't understand the depth. You just, I don't want to tell you. Even if you think you know, you don't know.
You don't know. Oh yeah,
I don't know.
See, what I like, what gets me is that drip right up under the bottom lip.
That's not a drip. That's flesh.
No, but what I'm saying is it's coming out. That's what I'm saying. It's coming out. It's airborne. It's not just sitting there.
Look, that right there is
it's in motion.
That's nothing.
No, but I'm loving it. I've not seen that on a poster.
Okay,
I'm loving that
in comparison to what's gonna happen.
Oh, I know. I see.
No, your mind cannot even comprehend.
You guys are amazing. You're giving me like the best PR ever that I could ever design.
Well, I'm just telling the damn truth because you know what you did.
I know. And
you know what you did, and then you know what you did after that, and then after that, I was just like, damn.
Matter of fact, do we need to send him some more envelopes so he can go past the envelope?
Yes, I mean that's why I called it escalation, because once he starts, once hell breaks loose, it escalates. So you think he's over? Okay, it must be over. It's enough. No, it keeps going until you're like, oh my goodness.
Exactly. And
this would be like the Star Wars of horror movies.
It really is. And I'm telling you, for someone like myself who is into this shit, I was fucking amazed.
Yeah.
My mouth was open, and I need to watch it again. I don't know where the hell can I go buy it someplace to watch it?
It's not still released online. It's not online yet. I will, once the festival run is over, I will put it online so you can watch it. But meanwhile, I can send you a screen. You can have the link so you can keep watching and enjoying the gore and the mayhem.
Yes.
I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I guess I'll bring the popcorn and come to your house.
No.
Yeah.
You can listen outside the window.
I can listen outside the window.
He He's always trying to get in on my good stuff. You see that? Oh my gosh!
He's
Like,
after,
yeah.
he's. I hope he's not after your penis collection. You want
to? No, because you know what? Trust me. You see how that brother look on that screen right there? That's John. No.
Happened to the last.
I thought it was a Twinkie.
That's what happened to the last person.
What did you give me to eat?
I thought it was a Twinkie.
Yeah, that's what you get. You try to get my private screen and shit.
Oh, man.
No.
Oh my God.
No, thank you.
We start talking about penises, and we end my presence on the show with penises. It's amazing. Why not?
Where else can that happen but going down on the mic?
That's it.
It's so appropriate. So appropriate. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you, guys.
I am so grateful, so appreciative. So like with everyone, you're now, and we are favorite first cousins. Okay, favorite first cousins. And whenever you're doing something, feel free to tag me, tag the show. We'll put it on our page. So this isn't the end. We don't forget about you and throw you to the wolves now.
Thrown to the wolves. That's another good movie title. Thrown to the wolves. Yes. We started throwing the penises to the wolves.
That's the sequel. The FX merger.
Right. The FX, right. That's the sequel to the FX. Right.
Yes.
That's why you won't be able to find them later.
To get rid of the evidence.
Maybe that's what happened to him, to that guy that threw him to all his wolves. That's why they were laying down. But anyway, yeah. And so we don't kind of throw you to the wolves. We definitely want to keep following and supporting you after this. It's not a ma'am, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am type thing. So we definitely want to stay in touch. We definitely want to keep supporting you. Okay. So definitely. Thank you so much. And continue great success. And you're going to get to that 100 and surpass it.
That's right, Kang. Definitely. Thank you for coming on.
Yes. Let us know when you hit the 100 for sure, because we're going to share that shit with everybody.
Okay. Perfect.
You know, have him come back for the 100. We do the 100 show. We'll do the 100 show where he can officially announce. Yeah,
we'll have severed penis candles and everything.
Okay, I want a severed penis candle.
I guess we have to call Michelle for that.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Such a good time. Love.
Always,
yeah. Yeah. When I say, like, there are very few people that I fangirl over. Very, very, very few. I work with a lot of celebrities, and I don't give a shit. Respect everybody's work and craft.
Right.
You're just another person. It's all good. It's all cool.
No, I love his work. I've been following his work for a while.
I saw that shit, and oh my God, I almost lost my mind. I lost my entire fucking mind because, like, in interviewing him, like I said,
right?
People say a lot of stuff,
right?
And it's like, okay, no. And then when he said, like, his special effects person quit and he had to do his own thing, I've had directors tell me that shit before, and see it, and I'm like, yeah, I could tell you did that shit yourself, And so I'm like, okay, well, tell me what scene. But I didn't want to, of course. You don't want to ruin the integrity of a film and have them give too much information over, a thing. Tell me a little thing so I know what part it is.
Right, so I know where to start looking at.
Right. Because we were in the middle of the interview, and he said, finger. I'm like, okay. And I watched, I wanted to make sure I watched everyone's film who I interviewed, and his was the one from the last, and it was outside, cold as fuck, so cold. Oh my God. And with my lupus, like, I ain't trying to be cold. I am so glad I stayed. I am so glad. That right there.
Well, look at William say. That right there. That shit right there.
Right there.
That right there.
Right there. Baby. Look, I can't say enough about it. Like, I cannot. Like this.
Yeah.
So this is how good the shit is. For him to be able to show this picture, don't show you shit.
Like this is like the low point in the film. You know what I'm saying? This is like, yeah, we gonna throw this out there. It ain't nothing, so we'll throw it out there. Yeah.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Like, to show you this, you think, well, damn, okay. So he did. No, this tells you nothing.
But see, it's strange because you and I can look at films differently because we're in the business.
Right.
So we know what it takes. We know what it takes to make their blood come out of wherever. We know what it takes to make a scene look the right way. We know the consistency of the blood. No, that was not blood. That was Prego, damn it. We know
It wasn't only that.
Right.
It was also, I'm thinking of the mind that thought of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a very strange mind to put it together.
This shit right here.
And follow it all the way through. Yeah, that's
like there are some movies you're like, who thought of this? Like who, or even some series that you watch, on television or streaming, and you're like, who thought of this episode? Because this shit was dynamic.
Yeah.
Who thought to take it there? Type thing. Like where you go and you look, who was the writer of this episode? Like, it wasn't only the special effects and the acting, it was where did the mind go to say, okay, you can see this happening, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it went further, and then it went further, like I said, escalation, and it went further, like, how does the mind stretch to that bandwidth and then say, keep going?
Yeah.
No. Keep going.
Like, keep going. We haven't gotten to the end yet.
There is no edge.
Right.
There is no edge.
Because every time you create the edge, there's another edge.
There is no edge.
Right. No, I love it. I love it.
Like, you have to, I don't care who you are, if you are anywhere near a film festival that this is playing in, you need to get there, man, because this right here is worth seeing. It is worth seeing.
Yeah.
Like, I love the series Saw.
Right.
I love that series because it's some crazy ass shit in there. Like, it's some stuff like, who thought to do that type shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you watched Saw before?
I've watched parts of it. Yeah.
Some of them. Okay. Like, it's some crazy shit. Some of those things you're like, who thought to? What is wrong with you? Like, one of my favorite ones is when she falls down into the pit of hypodermic needles.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my God, Becky. Like, because you could feel it. There is nothing you could do.
Right.
Every move you make is needles. I don't care what you do. If you breathe.
Right.
Needles.
Not to mention your weight. Yeah. Yeah.
It don't matter.
Right. There's no escape. Right. No, it's not escaping it. Yeah.
Who thought of that?
Hey. Somebody who's sitting in their house got some real bad intentions for somebody.
The one that snatches the face and head all the way open.
All the way open, yeah.
Like, who thought of that?
Hey.
All those different torture devices and different things. Like, what's going on in your fucking head? I love it. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is...
You have to think, what is going on in somebody's head that they could put this together like this?
Right.
And it's like, okay, wherever this person is, I need to leave. They used to think that way about Tarantino's films.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tarantino's films were the same way. They were like, what's really happening?
This is it on a horror level, man.
Right. This is it on a horror level. Exactly.
Like, this shit took it far, 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 far. And I'm like, wow. And for it to be a short, you just did not expect this. And like he was saying, like with Finally You, like, it is Finally You, even to this date, is the most blood I have ever used on a horror film. Still to this date, most blood.
Well,
And
now,
it's so funny that he said that because he was able to recognize
well,
so
yeah.
much blood. So
Well,
much blood.
because the blood has got to be the same consistency for each shot. And so it takes a certain talent to know, okay, I need to have this amount
Well,
ready.
not just that, the amount of injuries, because both people are serial killers
Right, right,
that have found each other and they're fucking killing each other while they're loving each other.
right, right.
So much blood.
But there's an art to that. There's an art to. I've seen some FX people show up at the set. I'm not gonna mention any names or any movies, but I've seen them show up and they've got this pint of blood that they want to use,
Mhm.
and it's pre-mixed. It's in a small pink can, all mixed up and everything, and from their own little personal stock, I guess.
Nah.
But what bothers me is that you get to the scenes where you really need a lot of blood, and ooh, I don't have enough to make it look the way you want it to look. Now, your movie, I'm estimating that was a good gallon, if not more.
Oh, way more.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because there was one scene where I know there was a gallon that was used just on that one scene.
Well,
So
she took a bite out of right here.
that's what I'm saying.
You got main arteries, and so look,
It was constantly pumping.
and we had 3 people back here.
Uh-huh.
3 people back here with 3 different apparatus because, and this is what I love about Jamie. One of the many things I love about Jamie is that he listens, and he had the understanding that he wanted it realistic. And if you want it realistic, then you're just not going to have one little squirt coming out.
No.
She just bit
Right.
here. There's going to be stuff going like this if she bit right there.
Right.
And I need some other people to assist me right now. And we're all gonna, because it's gonna not just go like this. That's not what realistically happens when you bite like that, because it's curved. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's not just straight.
But see, that comes from you being an honorary member of the Vampire Club and
That's
a
my
member
business.
and a member of the Wolfgang Club and all that.
My business.
So you
That's what I
understand.
have to.
Well, I ain't mad at you. You know, you joined the club so you can learn what you learn. I'm not mad at you. But yeah.
Well, right before COVID, I was actually, and I've been telling people this, I was getting ready to start with the, I lost the damn name of it, not the coroner. No, yeah, the coroner.
The coroner, yeah.
The coroners, to go start picking up bodies with them.
Oh, I'm quiet. I'm good.
I got to, I'm like, he's not muted.
You know, brother ain't muted. What you heard was me stop breathing. I'm like, okay. I mean, I understand that that's part of your learning process.
Because I already watch, live autopsies and study pictures and all that type of stuff online. However, I wanted to start going to see legitimately and legally.
So how are you gonna do this? Was you gonna be like the dead person? Oh, okay.
Like they do ride-alongs for the police, you sign up.
Okay, I thought you were gonna be like the dead person's Uber or something.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just asking a question, you know.
What? The dead person's Uber?
Well, I didn't know.
Do dead people call Ubers?
You know what? When you find one, ask him.
When you find one, ask.
Not the kid. No, I'm good.
I am too. I am not. And then I'm also looking at starting to do some mortuary makeup service.
Now that's where you're gonna do what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna do. And it's strange that you would say that,
Sure.
but well, no, I'm gonna tell you why. Because um, we were just talking about my brother, who I love dearly.
Yeah.
Um, he would tell me, I've got to go out of town. So and so passed, and I need to do
The
that.
hair.
I need to do their hair,
Mm-hmm.
and he would say that with a when he said it to me, because he said it to me on many occasions, but he would say it in a way where he was proud that he was asked,
Mm-hmm.
but then he had this tone as though, like, hey, but it's not something I want to do.
Right.
Yeah, and then he said, hey, I've got to go to so and so's because they asked me and they were good friends. They're good friends.
Right.
You know that is a dedication that I still have not acquired in terms of that.
What do
To
you
be
mean?
well, because I've watched morticians, I've watched uh, uh, hairstylists who have come in and done work and really
Mm-hmm.
done some good work, and it is amazing to me the work that can get done
Mm-hmm.
and how it is done. And Pierre used to laugh. You come back and tell me, and he said, "Well, there's art to it, and you have to know that instead of you moving the chair around, you have to move around because the chair ain't going nowhere."
Right.
And so that was like, I never thought about that, but okay, that type of thing. And we talk about it briefly, and then he make a little stupid comment, which, used to make me kind of choke. He said, unlike you, when you keep moving your head while I'm trying to do your head, and he'd yank my head around, you know. So it was on the tail of those conversations that I'm going to truly miss.
Yeah.
Uh, so those are the things that sometimes you look back and you go, it's amazing how we got on this subject, and it brings you right back to that brother.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yes. I'm for what we're doing. Uh, I would love to see more done for him, uh, in terms of honoring him, because Pierre Scott, Hair by Pierre, did more work for this community and in this community that, unless you were on the inside, unless you were somebody like Boss Baby Miller, myself, Kendra.
Yeah. When I looked, I said, I wish I would have known even more of the magnitude of stuff he was doing and whatever. Um,
He would cook some restaurant quality. I'm talking about 5-star
yeah.
restaurant type stuff, and it was just a talent he had. And the every year we'd do, and I say we because I'd be down there hustling boxes or taking pictures or whatever the case may be of the work he was doing in the community to make sure kids had school supplies.
Right. Right. Wait,
Okay.
let me let me tell you a funny from the last time I saw him, which was at Terrence's show when his kids were, walking in the show.
Mm,
And so I was over backstage with the hair and makeup, and I didn't know that those were his kids. And so he came backstage, and so I'm excited to see him. I'm like, hey, and one of his daughters came over, and then all of a sudden I'm talking, and his wife was right here, and I'm right here, and he's right here. And then the other chick that had been backstage, all of a sudden she came over, and then he took his arm and did this push and pushed me out the way. And I was like, oh. And so he was like, so what did you say about my baby's hair? I was like, what's going on? So I knew that the other chick had said that, she was changing the beads on the bottom of the little girl's hair. And she's like, go ask your mom or whatever. But evidently, she also said something about they were ghetto looking or something like that, which I didn't know. And that was Pierre's daughter, he'd done her hair. And so he was like, I'm coming back here to find out who it was that said this was ghetto or something.
Right.
And I was like, uh-oh. And so he done pushed me out the way. And he dealing with the girl who said it. And I'm like, and she was like, well, no. And they got that, whatever. He's like, because I don't do nothing ghetto. She's like, no. I need to match this. Well, but that's not what you said. And I'm just like, she's like, no, that's not what I mean. And she left. And I was like, well, damn, you just pushed me there. He's like, I'm sorry, Moni. I'm like, okay. He's like, well, I'm trying to get you. I'm like, I understand.
No,
I understand.
yeah.
So we doing the show out there and we watching it. And I'm sitting there, and so I had some popcorn. And so I reached back to Toy. I'm like, you want some popcorn? And so I just turned back around, started eating. Next thing I know, it was a hand in front of my face. And it was Pierre's hand. Like, give me some damn popcorn. I was like, my bad.
Right, you done went to that side of the room, then come back over here.
It's like, my bad. My bad. And so he was like, yeah, and I came up here for my boys. I'm like, which one of your boys? And so then they came in. And I was like, oh, they ain't been doing nothing wrong. He's like, oh, no, Terrence said they was. I said, oh. I said, well, they didn't do nothing wrong in front of me. He's like, oh, yeah, Terrence said they was cutting up. I'm not going for that shit. I said, okay.
Pierre, was, as a father, Pierre raised his own children and raised damn near every child that came into that shop, because there were people who shall remain nameless who would come to that shop, drop their kids off, and just go run the street.
Right.
Well, fine. But what they didn't understand was that child was getting an education that they would never get at home.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a certain standard, adult, child, whatever,
right,
that you maintained when you were around him.
Old school. Now,
if you were on the inside, we could have some fun. We could do some things. We had a little more leeway than the general public. But even so, to understand the dynamics of him, no, he doesn't do anything ghetto. So yeah, when he heard that word ghetto, that's what set him off. It wasn't that the beads didn't match.
And I had stepped in the middle, not knowing.
No, he gets kind of lasered. It's kind of like, no, this is what I'm going after. I'm gonna need you to slide your behind out the way. I'll talk to you in a minute. Love you dearly, and go on about what you got to do.
Not knowing what the fuck was going on.
Because he done that to me on a few occasions.
He put that arm. He's like, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. And it's funny because we have a little clip. Pierre's had to move the shop a couple of times, and he'd call this no moving on me, and we'd all come and we'd move him to the next location that was suiting his purposes better. And we all stuck with him. No matter where he went in the valley, he knew, well, I know these many heads are going to show up. And that was it. And I'm going to miss the camaraderie. I'm going to miss the, okay, what are we doing now? Okay. Pierre was big on spoiling people, but he was big on being spoiled.
when it was his birthday, don't not recognize it. Don't not recognize it. So I had to roll up in there a couple of times with some, like I did with you with the magic case. Yeah, I had to do that with him like two, 3 times. Roll up with the magic case, and he just laughed, and that was it. The relationship that he had with Boss Baby and her family was a very looking at it from the outside in.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very magical and special relationship. Those kids were his kids. They're Boss Babies and her husbands, but they knew that once they got out that car and got to him, the rules was the same. Don't come up in here starting nothing, and the trust and love that they had between those two families was something I hadn't seen since I was a little boy in some of the families that I grew up in. So that's why I know Boss Baby is this is hitting her kind of different from the rest of us.
Right.
Yeah, and so I really feel for her and the family, and I know that we all know he's in a better place, but it's not the pill that we wanted to swallow this soon. That's what it comes down to. But I'm gonna miss the brother. I'm gonna miss him dearly, and it goes without saying that there are gonna be a lot of people, haters included, that are gonna miss him because he made them step their game up. He made them step their game up. They knew if they even wanted to get close, they had to step their game up. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna say it.
It was no joke.
No, wasn't no joke. Wasn't no joke at all. Matter of fact, he was the first and only person in Arizona to ever touch my wife's hair. That'll give you an idea. My wife's got some very long silver gray hair, and she was the only one. He was the only one that she would let even touch it, and that was it. So it's
Well, he will definitely be missed.
yeah.
I am going to bring up, we're going to have our motivational from off of, let me see if I can get the sound on here, from off Stephanie's page here.
Anybody else.
Let's see.
First of all, it's such a beautiful metaphor for life. You don't quit because you're tired. Give yourself enough breaks to keep going up the hill. As I've shared before, don't look at how far you have to go. Because I just was looking at my feet going up.
That's all I saw was my feet.
Yeah.
But you
look
said
at how
something
far
good.
you've come. Turn around and look at how far you've come, and you go. Because remember that time you looked around and you go, whoa, look at how far we've come. As we begin another year, another season, another journey of life through this particular season, look at how far you've come. Give yourself the time and the breaks you need to get to where you need to go. And don't compare yourself to anybody else. Run your own race.
And keep going.
And keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep going. First of all,
What was that? A video of Oprah going from one house to the other?
No,
I mean, she got like 22 houses on her property. I mean,
no, we're going to start because Stephanie would get bodied by Stephanie. She has she does motivational things on her page too. And so we're going to start sharing some of those on the show just to help out, you know what I mean? Because who doesn't want some motivation? Who doesn't need some, even if you think you don't? Just some sharing some motivational things on the show also.
no, that's great. That's
So
great.
making some time for that. In addition to that, because I'm watching the clock here, we're going to be opening the door for another show to come in. Remember Tracy Ullman and the Simpsons show?
Yeah.
How the Simpsons started out? Well, with Terrence, they have some of their students who started a podcast. And so we're going to be giving them an opportunity to kind of feed off of our show, to have a very small segment in there where we show We haven't determined how much time, very small amount of time, to help them grow their show. So kind of like how the Simpsons did off Tracy Ullman's show. So
Right.
it'll be a very small segment in there that they have to show recording of their show in our show, to kind of help them grow their show. Starting out, I've met with them, very nice young crew, high school students, nice young people who have a love for what they're doing, and talk to them quite a bit, met with them quite a bit, and just to help them out, kind of doing our giving back to the community type thing. But just adding some other things to the mix for the show that I've been working on for quite a bit of time. And so we're looking at how we can integrate those things in here also.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just some other good things coming down the pipeline. That's
going to be good. That's going to be good.
Yes. So guys, just right quick before we get off of here, I will be broadcasting live from the Empowered Magazine 3-day summit, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh my gosh, have a lot lined up. Chris Lane Media will be there doing videos and all other types of stuff. So I'm sure you'll see him running around, or well, not running around, but you know, hustling, doing his thing type stuff with a camera. And yes, that's a cool way to inspire the next generation. Absolutely. And I think that that's important, and doesn't cost us a damn thing to, you know, give them that little bit of inspiration. And as I told them, then they're required to reach back and help someone else. So we don't instill that in them and show them by example, and they never learn how to do that. So just wanted to share that. We have like 3 minutes. I'm going to give you this time to say what you say at the end, right quick before we jump off of here.
Well, as always, I want to say thank you to my wife for supporting me in this journey of life that we're in together, and supporting all of my endeavors and empowering me to do the things I can do. So I love you, and I thank you for the support.
And I want to say thank you to all of our listeners and viewers, whether you're watching us live or listening to us live. Thank you to our guest that we had on, CKB. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our amazing sponsors, Moni Luvs Effects, Chris Lane Media, Lighthouse Styling and Beauty, Get Bodied by Stephanie, and WUBI Ubiquity Radio. Thank you so much. You guys, we will see you later. Sooner or later, and make sure to subscribe, follow, and share this. And if you are looking at being a guest on the show, go to our Twitter page and click that book a guest. Click that link on there, and that will send the request through to us, and it will be reviewed and see about getting you on the show. Thank you so much, and have a good one. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Can we stop the arguing? Can we take a moment where we can calm down?